Yeah, I like an ELA one, not yours. Living environment. Yo. This is what happens when I come back to New York. Came off.
Our planet's been around for a whopping 4.5 billion years.
Feeling clarity and clear is like...
Of all the countries in the world, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, more commonly known as North Korea, might just be the most mysterious. Nicknamed the Hermit Kingdom, it's famous for its isolation and independence, but also for its shocking lack of human rights, because it exists under the iron-fisted rule of a dictatorship, headed by Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. Its laws are some of the most extreme in the world. So, with that in mind, let's expose some of the craziest laws that have ever been enforced here, that we know of. You snooze, you lose. Now, we've all fallen asleep and we've not meant to. Maybe it was in a Zoom meeting or on a school desk. And while you might expect some sort of punishment, you never expect capital punishment for it. Well, you would in North Korea. In 2015, Minister of Defense Young Chol was reportedly ordered to be, dispatched for napping during military rallies. Kim Jong-un had him removed from his post immediately, and the sentence was carried out in public to send a message that laziness and insubordination will not be tolerated to everyone.
Oh, he was sentenced to death?
The crazy thing is, this isn't
it's not Korea, Bray. They do stuff way crazier over there than in the rest of the world.
Time it's happened.
That just shows you can't fuck up at all. There's no second chances.
Yes. Well, they're under a dictatorship, so a dictator is basically the be-all, end-all. Disobeying a dictatorship is the most easiest way to get put.
A year later, in 2016, North Korean Education Minister Kim Yong-jin was dispatched in front of hundreds of people for having bad posture during a party rally. The Supreme Leader was so displeased with his poor posture, Kim Yong-jin was interrogated before being labeled an anti-party, anti-revolutionary agitator and sentenced to capital punishment. Now that's one heck of a rude awakening. Ticket to Ride. Bicycles are an essential transport option for many people that live or work in busy cities. Yet in North Korea, bicycles were actually banned in the streets of its capital city, Pyongyang. Unlike neighboring China, which over the last century saw a natural progression from walking to cycling to motorized transportation, North Korea wanted to fast-track this progression. How? By banning bikes and insisting its citizens rely on motor vehicles to get around. And this might have worked if their economy hadn't completely tanked in 1991. leaving most North Koreans too poor to afford enough to eat, let alone a car. As such, in 1992, Pyongyang's bicycle ban was lifted. But even now, most of its citizens remain too poor to afford a car, so it's mainly bikes that are used on the empty roads. After this, you'd expect transport options would have improved, but sadly not. From 1995, the state decided to ban women from owning and riding bicycles. The regime's reasoning for the ban was that the sight of an attractive woman on a bike was deemed too suggestive and would damage public morality. She's just riding a bike. Well, that says a lot more about the ruling party being perverts than anything else. They also argued women were genetically incapable of handling traffic, making them a danger to others. Okay, North Korea, it's time to sit down, shut up, and pay attention for a hot minute. Men are universally responsible for more traffic-related accidents and fatalities than women. In 2021, in the U.S. alone, women were responsible for around 6,000 fatal crashes. That number was 3.5 times higher at more than 21,000 for men. So your genetically incapable argument just drove itself into the wall. Anyway, the ban was briefly lifted in 2012, but then reinstated in early 2013.
Turn that down. Turn that down.
The lack of motorized public transportation in the country's main cities. We can't say as much for this.
Turn the TV down, bro.
Yeah, turn it.
Fuck, yo.
Speaking of which,
Or turn it off.
Turn the TV up.
dictatorship. I don't know. I live in my jeans.
On me.
I couldn't imagine not being able to wear them. They're a closet staple. Since midpoint, Kim Jong-un has announced a crackdown on Western influence,
They're fighting.
including all kinds of jobs. This stems all the way back to the division of Korea in 1940. For control over the country. Ever since the division,
So do they come with us?
have been taught to view American capitalism and white along with all American influences.
Got you. Come on.
The law is still enforceable to this day, but it's hard to enforce it. If women are caught wearing them, a patriarchal can and will interrogate the individual and force her to write a letter confessing to the other. They even have the power to ask them to government people name, home address, and place of work. If you can get doxxed just for wearing
Don't chase that. You have no ammo.
in the Central States passed out all TikTok influencers think they're trendy these days. What, between banning bikes and banning jeans? Which rule do you think is the most ridiculous?
The
For bikes, like for jeans. I haven't seen the demo, but in North Korea, extreme hairstyles are heavily
Your aim is crazy, as in,
self-stopped by the pathetic. Sorry.
what is that aim right now?
Usually begin and then forced to remove or cut your chosen style. In 2013, released a guide of 28 approved hairstyles, 10 for men, 18 for women. Although there are a few more styles to choose from nowadays, it's still forbidden for men to have hair. How generous of them. As a listen carefully. As a result, young men are required to cut their hair every 15 days before it comes out. For women, having short hair is allowed when you're married, with long hair and curled styles that look similar to those worn in the West in the 1980s, allowed when you're young and single. Better than the Kim Jong-un kind, I guess. No imitations. With 8 billion people on the planet, there's bound to be someone out there who has the same name as you. But Kim Jong-un decided that his name should be Lee. And now all North Koreans are prohibited from sharing it. That's right. Everyone called Jong-un was forced to completely change their name in 2011. daughter's name, Kim Jong-un, who at this
Scan.
point appears to be his successor. Jong-un was an extremely powerful man. Basically, made himself.
You got that emote? I mean, what? You got that finisher?
I wouldn't be surprised if there were a couple of hobbits out there trying to take this dictator down. Sell and learn things. Thanks to the advancement of
I feel like that guy's dumb. I feel like that guy's stupid. He's trying to sneak up behind him.
as standard, the country's popular domestic mobile phone service, Corulate, blocks all international calls. Signal jammers
Up your
are
own.
used at the country's
Maybe.
borders, and just about all.
I'm gonna bring our teammate back.
Some 80% of North Korean households own
That's
at
not
least
enough to
one
be running
mobile
away with.
phone,
Is that right?
Making so much as one international call warrant a death sentence. But why?
I like the speed
North
boost.
Korea's government specifically censors and prohibits this rare information so that outside influences don't get in and vital information can't get out. After any form of international communication without specific government authorization is prohibited. The fear is that contact with people from outside may prompt citizens to realize how harsh the regime is, undoing decades of brainwashing and propaganda they dish out on a daily basis. And subsequently, their citizens will either try to flee or rise up against the government. Back in the man used a smuggled phone and SIM card to make several international calls. He was discouraged when contact expanded and affected to South Korea. He sadly didn't have enough time to hide the phone before officials locked on to a signal and not a store. His demise was used to make a very public example of those who break the rules in the worst way possible. Regime a lot of us dream of being able to buy a house someday. Having your own place is considered by most
Out there, never been there.
necessity, but not so in North Korea. Like so much else, the government
I mean-
controls all property in the country. All buildings are technically owned by the state, and citizens are assigned to their housing by them too. It's even harder to get in the big cities. North Koreans have to be granted capital. But since 2000, North Korea has utilized this is confirmed by a certificate known as insecurity, a document showing the person lives in a specific place. North Korea names and canceling older ones, thereby passing on ownership of the person. Citizens need enough money to drive city officials into looking the other way. Tobacco, cigarettes, or a good bottle of liquor, apparently. As little as 50